What's up, my fine folks? It looks like I have been left with another experience or another bout of narcissism. Oh my gosh. You wish this would be like the last conversation ever heard about the topic. But I'm going to digress a lot if I don't jump onto this because I just love speaking, it seems like. You respond or react, I would say more of a reaction to what they're giving you. You realize that you've just lost your deployment. You've lost your ability. So let's say like in life, you've had other problems. Everyone has their set of issues. And you've learned to cope with some of those things. And you've even deployed some strategies to get around those situations. But in this particular space, because the narcissist is not always in its mode, or you've put it in its place, or it's busy getting its narcissistic supply somewhere else, then you are victimless. You get to be like, hey, I'm fine. I'm not getting victimized right now. I should be okay. And you let your guard down. And what ends up happening is you lose your defenses, your natural defenses against this type of predator. And let me say it like this. I have to say it that they're like a predator, but some of them are just unconscious of the way they're communicating. Let's get into it. So this first transpired weeks ago, probably 3 weeks ago. And it involved her, and I'm gonna give some context. She originally set up to have our daughter go through a learning how to swim. And she asked me, would I be open to taking her on the days that I have her? And I said, I'm not going to promise that. And I'm not going to promise that on anything that you choose to put our daughter in as an activity, because my schedule is so erratic. Until I have something a little bit more manageable on my end, I cannot promise that I'm going to be doing this every single week or whatever. Or I'm going to help out. That's something, if you choose to do, make sure you can do it every single day at that time. And if you can't, then you're able to let that go. And she agreed in that time frame, because this is what she wants. This is the moment. They just like, okay, I heard what I wanted to hear. Cool. And she's revisited a few times, and each time I've had to indicate like, no, I'm not going to make any promises. She asked me again, and this has been probably a year now or longer that she's done this type of thing. And I was like, hey, you should be happy that you set that up for her and that all that works out for you. You can like pat yourself on the back and be proud that you as a parent decided the avenue for our kid to go that direction. I think that's great. That should be good. I mean, like that's awesome. Don't involve me. If my kid's not screaming, where's daddy? I hate that daddy's not here. My life isn't complete without him being present or taking me to swim class. Then it's not an issue. It's a non-issue. The only major thing is she even screaming to want to go there, which is opposite. She does not want to go there. She's actually not interested. But she gets there, she has fun. But my point to that is, what other choice does she have? I mean, if you force the kid into this situation, she's going to go through. And I asked her, what is it particular that you don't like about swim? And she says, I'd like to do my own thing, and they don't let me. And so I get that. It's a little kid. She's 5, so it's going to be like that. Anyways, moving ahead, I simply told her I'm not going to make any promises. She first of all, she gives me this huge text message about all the achievements and great positive things. Like, she's just pouring on this positive energy. Like, I'm hoping that this will motivate her, my daughter's father, to then take on the role of taking her to the swim class. Like, she's going to try to bend this wheel. This is a narcissist in control. She has control issues. And I know that's what it looks like. It comes across that way. So if it's not, then my response should be, okay, you have to accept it. So I wrote back, that's awesome. I support her 100%, but I'm not going to make any promises. That was all I wrote. It launched this entire freaking Bleacherville of, you signed up for this, and like, as I'm a father, being kind of talking trash indirectly or somewhat directly about me being as a father, and just constantly going on and on and on. Again, this is from her standpoint, her thoughts on me, and it triggered me because you're talking about me, and it's a respect thing. And for once, I let my guard down, and I kind of, at the point of it, I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I was like, you say too much here? Like, this is a whole lot of information. So I didn't choose to engage. I kind of left it disengaged from that point on in a large part. But then I did revisit and get back into a communication with her. And that part was like over the phone because she started asserting herself, getting too involved. She wasn't respecting a situation, triggered me. And I was already upset between that and the last time she had spoken that text message and the things she said to me about me as a person. And so I flipped, and I didn't flip heavily, but it was enough. And it triggered her. And then she started to say little things with, this is not acceptable the way you speak. So the indications of where you can see our silliness in communication is, it's okay for her to speak and say things, whatever she wants to me, but I'm unable to say anything in regards that might be upsetting to her. And it's always like it has to be filtered in a way that's acceptable on her end. And so this is what you're dealing with when you're dealing with these kind of narcissists. Fast forward, it is now trickled into a constant, like I've told her, like we need to just back up. We've been doing good as co-parenting before my response with the swimming. So we got to figure out, we have to agree to disagree here and just move on. And so my point, this last thing I sent her for this morning was let it be. That, and I told her her name. I was like, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And like, I just said, John Lennon's got it figured out. Let me try that shit. I started to look up videos for co-parenting and I wasn't really looking for a co-parenting with a narcissist, but everything that co-parenting communication came up with was about mostly about narcissism. And I was laughing in my head because in my mind, like, yeah, if you have to co-parent with somebody who's not a narcissist, you probably can co-parent. And the ones that you can't do it with are usually a narcissist. And so I'm trying to deploy some strategies and I'm finding these videos. And so one of the videos I watched was this lady, and I'm not going to bring it up right here. I want to watch this one right here with this guy. But she says the way you have to do it is you just have to look at what they're asking, and there might be something relevant of what you want to answer, and you just simply answer that part. And all of the long minutia that's around all that, you have to filter and kind of knock away. And that's the truth. That's how I navigated this space before. And so I'm happy to revisit that now. Because it was no different at the beginning when we were trying to deal with this co-parenting. I really just went overboard in trying to make things appeasing so that things could move on. Anyways, let's get to the point of watching this video because I think you guys are we're gonna see if we enjoyed watching it together.
So, co-parenting with a narcissist. Let's talk about it. And if you're new here, I have narcissistic personality disorder. I'm a diagnosed narcissist. So, yes, I'm married, but I have an older son that's 13 years old, and I have to co-parent with his mom. And like before I was diagnosed, I did not make it easy on her. I would rarely stick to the schedule. I would change up stuff last minute so it would make her, have to adjust on the fly. I would say and do stuff to intentionally trigger her. So my advice to you when you're trying to co-parent with a narcissist is look up parallel parenting, first of all, and realize that the narcissist should have access to the child, not to you. Because a lot of times a narcissist will use a child to try to stay in contact with you. Text you at 2 a.m. asking how the baby doing, knowing damn well their baby sleep. You have to stay grounded when you are dealing with a narcissist in a co-parenting situation because they're going to try to intentionally trigger you to get underneath your skin by saying stuff to the child, by doing stuff. Just stay grounded because your reactions are your power. But parallel parenting is the way to go. What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. I'm your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, also known as Mental Illness from TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. You know where to find me at. If this is your first time seeing my face, I have narcissistic personality.
That's wild. That's wild. We have a self-aware narcissist, and they're actually speaking on the subject and talking about, because what he just described is exactly what I go through with mine. I mean, that to a T. That is insane. I can't believe it. Like, he just nailed, like, she changes things on the fly. She's constantly switching up the schedule. I mean, there's no question. That is the exact same thing. And he's a self-aware narcissist talking about it. Bravo to him. Bravo to him. Look, I don't like to hate them. I don't even like the title. But let's hear what the heck he's got to say. I'm so happy that he's even making those responses.
Disorder, and the point of my platform is to bring awareness to this disorder and to also in the process validate the victims and survivors of this disorder as well. This series right here is dedicated to expanding upon my TikToks. TikTok is my biggest platform. I have over 700,000 on there. So I take my TikToks, put them on here, make them longer, go into more detail. This right here, the TikTok that you watch, is about co-parenting with a narcissist, or trying to co-parent with somebody that you think may be a narcissist or a very toxic parent or whatever. You know, we know the drill. If you've been riding with me since day one, you know the drill. So, if you see, I mentioned in there, I mentioned the term parallel parenting. Parallel parenting is a form of parenting when the other parent is just as uncooperative as they want to be, just for the sake of being uncooperative. Just when they want to argue about everything, they want to try to change the schedule on you. They want to belittle you. They want to use the kids as leverage. Parallel parenting, from what I have read and discovered, is just like you parent your way on your time, and you only communicate with the other parent when it's dire needs, like.
There you go. That is what I have been echoing in my text messages with my ex. We have been talking about this particular subject right here. And that is strictly, you've got your things on what you do. I've got my things on mine, what we do. We simply keep it easy on this other level. So what he's saying right here, parallel parenting is 100% on. From what I've tried to deploy as a method. I was like, that's cool. Whatever you think you got going on, great. So be it. What have you. You've got your world, I've got my world. Leave it at that. And that's exactly where he's at. And this is what we've been running into right now. Because we have a dominating type, she's being the dominating parent to come in and try to control things over on my parenting level. And I'm just not going for it.
Scheduling emergencies, like health stuff, school stuff, things of those nature. So parallel parenting, I know it sounds like to me that's one of the toughest ways to do it, because like you have no say in what goes on at the other person's house, and they have no say in what goes on at your house and things of that nature. But I also mentioned in that video right there how I personally used to just make it harder on my oldest son's mom. Like, I would just change the schedule at the last minute because I didn't want, she would tell me she had a date or something like that. She would tell me she had a date or something like that, so I would change the schedule. I'm like, no, not tonight. I can't do it tonight. You need to do it. So we put it on her at the last minute to punish her for I guess she was trying to punish. I felt like she was trying to punish me by telling me she had a date, even though I had already moved on. So I would make sure she wasn't going on said date. I know it sounds petty. I was trying to judge me, but my platform is here for a reason. I want to give you my inner thoughts. Judge away. You know what I mean? If I was gonna lie to you, it'd be no point of me being out here. You know what I mean? So I used to just change the schedule at the last minute. I used to be uncooperative. I used to just be lying about little stuff. I wouldn't say I engaged in any type of parental alienation when I was trying to turn my son against his mom and talk derogatory in front of her. But my stuff is more like this insidious. I'm a covert narcissist. You know what I mean? Doing little stuff. Like I said,
look, he just said it. Insidious shit. He's a covert narcissist. I want you guys to really pay attention to him. Oh my God. That's who I deal with. My ex is a covert narcissist. I can't believe I nailed this video. This is great. Already super great for me.
The scheduling thing was the biggest thing for me. I used to always just make sure it was on my time. You know what I mean? And I would have very little flexibility when she needed to change the schedule. But I expected her to have full flexibility when I needed to change the schedule and things like that. And I know my wife, she used to watch me do stuff like that. I guess she thought it was going to be different for her. She's like, it'll be different for me because we're married. It's different because we're married, but I've been in therapy as well. I don't do that with my son's mom, the older son's mom. I don't do that with her anymore. Because therapy, I like to work. I work harder now. I'm nervous. Well, I never talk about this. Y'all gonna judge me because of this? Probably. You're gonna judge me. I don't care. That's what my platform is here for. I'm gonna get judged regardless. But, you know what I mean? A lot of times, I think co-parenting with a narcissist, the kid, like the narcissistic person will use the kid to get back at the other parent. The narcissist will use the kid, will fill the kid full of rumors and stuff like that, feed the kid stuff that you don't want them to be eating, say negative stuff about you to the kid to make sure that the kid repeated it. ask the kid questions and things like that about who you have over to your house. Has mama or daddy moved on? Do they have a boyfriend or girlfriend? Who over there? This, that. Well, use the kid, as an intermediary between the two of you. We try to turn the kid against you, and a lot of times that's parental alienation and stuff like that. They try to turn the kid against you. A lot of times. So co-parenting with a narcissist is very, very tough. It can be tough, like I said.
I want to stop something right there. That this is more of my personal accountability in what he's saying at this moment. Where parent alienation. If there's going to be, and again, we don't like to just sit here and start putting ourselves under labels and all that kind of crap. What I want to say is just my own personal accountability. I have been the person on that one end where I've been going, does it look like mom's moved on? Is she good? But I will tell you my intentions. I'm happy if she has. Like, I'm actually in a disposition where if I'm deploying some narcissistic things, it's to the benefit, hopefully, to me that she's benefited. I don't want anything nefarious or crazy going on. That's more or less like I'm happy that's happening. The second thing is, I'm trying to remember exactly what he was saying. That I was like, I think I've engaged in that behavior too. So, planting little seeds or something, trying to talk about the other parent. When I'm in like a reactive stage, I do kind of say things and I'm like, I can't stand your mother. When it comes back to defaulting, I will tell her in a heartbeat, I'm like, look, I don't necessarily care for this kind of behavior. Don't want you to repeat it. But I will tell you right now, love your mom. Love your mom. And at the beginning, throughout the whole parenting, I was really like, I guess I might have took like the male role of, hey, that's disrespectful. You need to be kind to your mom. Be sweet. So I kind of was in that direction. Now it's more like, well, she sets the stage for that experience. So anyways, I see exactly what he's saying. And I will say that I too have been guilty of some of these behaviors. So if some of y'all see yourselves playing this type of role, I apologize, but it is what it is. He's saying some things that you might be engaging in too that are just somewhat childish. I know I have. And call it your kid nature that you're trying to help yourself get around. You're not going to be 100%. I'll be honest. Well, at least for me, I can speak on my behalf. I'm not going to be always 100% in the way I'm conducting my behavior, because that would entail that I've gotten it perfect or I'm perfect in some manner. I'm still growing and learning in a lot of ways. And what I'm thankful for is that I get a chance to catch it and I get a chance to highlight it and work on it. And I may not get it, again, we're beating a drum.
Depending on who the person is, and some narcissists, they are not as hard as others. I know everybody's like, no, all narcissists are hard. No, all narcissists are not the same. No, you can't like lump every narcissist into, and cover them with a blanket statement like that, because we are not all the same. I am a Martian. But yeah, that's co-parent is one of those, is a difficult task. What was I was gonna say? Yeah, a lot. So the other parent, the narcissist, has access to the kids under your direction. Like if they are with you, they should only be able, if you don't employ parallel parenting, they don't have access to you. They only have access to the kids. And you should set a boundary to make it during a certain window of time. Hey, you can call anytime between 4:30 and 6:30, something like that. And then a narcissist is going to try to push those boundaries, call it 2, call it 10, call something like that. And you just have to enforce those boundaries, because they're going to try, because you set a boundary, the narcissist is going to try to break it. That's just how we are. We don't like people telling us what to do, even the smallest thing.
Control issues. That's exactly what I was trying to bring up before. They don't like things outside of their control. And he just spelled it out right there.
And then 2 o'clock in the morning, calling in to check on the kids. That is not about the kids. That is about you. 3 o'clock in the morning, calling to check on the kids. How my baby sleeping? How my little girl doing? How my little boy doing? That is not about the kids. And it comes from if it's a woman, they'll text like, your baby, your son is in there sleeping crazy tonight at 1:30 in the morning. That is not about the kids. That is about you. They want to see what you're doing at 1:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. They have access to the kids, not to you. Don't let them use the kids as a piece of leverage and things like that.
This is the things that I've been telling her this morning, my narcissist partner. I've told her in the messages I sent were, move on. Please let it go. Let me go. Don't don't keep like this energy upon me. Like, you've got to move on. Because like that's the point I'm trying to make. It's too directed, it's too centered towards me. And I'm just like, okay, well, they're just gonna have to live with this.
And when you're co-parenting, make sure you, like, I know it's tough when you see videos and stuff like that where they're trying to turn the kids against the parent. You have to be standing in your truth with your kids. And if the kids come on and say, hey, mommy, daddy said you were a liar and a cheater, and then you just have to ask them straight up, ask your kids straight up. It's like, do you believe that? If they say no, then it's like, good job. Don't believe whatever your daddy says, stuff like that. That's a good job. But if they say, yes, I kind of believe it, and you need to sit them down and tell them, like, look, I don't think that's true, and I'm going to tell you why. Explain to your kids, because, like, if you're not, they're going to, you don't want to fill in their heads full of rumors and stuff like that. You want the kids to be open, have open lines of communication with you, because having communication with a narcissistic parent is very, very difficult. So co-parenting can be very, very difficult because narcissists will intentionally make it harder on you just for the sake of making it hard on you. Especially if you are the one who divorced them, if you're the one who discarded them, they're going to hold a vendetta on you and try to punish you for the rest of your existence through those kids. Oh, how dare you discard a narcissist? How dare you discard me? How dare you pretty much tell me I'm not good enough for you to spend your life with? How dare you? How dare you? And that's the narcissist mindset right there. How dare you do any of this stuff that I deserve to happen to me? How dare you? And they're going to punish you. That's like, they'll punish you for that type of stuff too, y'all. I'm just telling you, I know the narcissistic mindset.
See, like he said, they'll punish you for it. That's exactly what she's after. She's looking to figure out ways of punishment. That is on it. And the effed up thing is that she wraps around all of her family in this story. The chaos is so they're supporting her. They're nourishing it because that is their family. So you got to think you get this support system that bolsters your craziness or as a narcissist, and it just keeps being pervasive out here. It's one of the ugliest things I've seen or witnessed.
Because I am one. I keep telling y'all, I'm just sharing my story. I'm sharing my truth. You're gonna judge me, judge me. That's perfectly fine.
I'm not here to judge you, bro. I appreciate what you're doing, man.
Judge yourself too. What the Bible says for y'all Christian folks: judge not, lest ye be judged. If you judge me, have some content and some profile picture up so I can judge your ass back. Anyways, y'all, I gotta cut this thing short. Keep them around 8-9 minutes. I'm truly appreciative of everybody. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel.
I appreciate what he threw down. Look, this is what you go through when you're dealing with a co-parent. I'm happy to watch this video. This was very informative for me. And again, I'm going to look up parallel parenting and find out what that's all about. But if you're in a similar situation, you've just seen what a narcissist is recommending, you should have clicked off the video earlier. But if you just like hearing me talk or talk about this subject, fine. But parallel parenting is where it's at. That's what I would highlight right now if I was in the same similar situation that I'm in, where you're back into the ring and you're back on the playing field with a narcissist that just plays dirty for the sake of playing. They just don't care. It's not a competition in your world. Don't make it one. Guys, if you like the video, great. Like it, whatever. Share it. I don't really care. I hope it helps people. That I do care about. But thanks again for watching. And if you got any questions, just hit me up, and love to see what your input is and what you've gone through, and maybe you don't mind sharing. But anyways, have a great day. See you later on the next video.